I thought my girlfriend wanted a baby more than anything, but after she miscarried, I found her hidden stash of herbs commonly used to end pregnancies, and now I don't know what to believe. I, 28M, have been dating my girlfriend, 26F, for 4 years. She has told me she always wanted children. We just didn't actively try for one though. I never pressured her into having a baby, it was more so her idea. I make enough and we own a home, so having a baby is something we can do. So, to clarify, I'm not mad at her for this. I'm extremely concerned and I feel like everything she has said about her wanting a baby was a lie. Abortion is also legal up to 21 weeks of pregnancy in our state. So she told me she was pregnant, she was having symptoms and took a test. She was happy about it and excited. I was happy as well and offered to make an appointment for her. We both went together and she was 6 weeks pregnant. We have been planning, she even told her friends and family. She ended up having a miscarriage at around 9 weeks. It was sudden and she was upset and I comforted her about it. It seemed very tough for her, so I did my best to try and make her feel better. I had to retrieve something from a drawer in our bedroom and I found some herbs covered under a bag. It was pennyroyal and mugwort. I was confused because I have heard of pennyroyal being used to cause self-abortions. I asked her about it and she immediately became defensive and told me that she didn't know where it came from. I kept trying to ask her about it and she ended up telling me she used it to have a miscarriage. She was crying and I was just in shock. I asked her why? I told her she didn't have to lie to me about it and I'm confused because she was the one who really wanted a baby? She didn't give me an answer about it. I told her that we need to go to the hospital to make sure she isn't hurt, since pennyroyal is toxic, but she kept declining. It's been a few days and she seems fine. I've been trying to ask her about this but she just says she doesn't want to talk about it. Apparently, she was telling her friends and family she had a miscarriage and has been accepting condolences. She's avoiding this but I don't want to push it towards her anymore. I'm not too sure what to do about this because I'm worried she might be having some type of mental breakdown or something. I eventually told her that she should not tell me about having a baby again, and I can't trust her about it anymore. She was upset hearing that, but what else could I say about something like this? This might make me a huge jerk, but in the back of my mind has been thinking she might have did this for attention from her friends and family. I don't know what to do and I feel like a horrible person for even thinking this stuff. Edit. I'm thankful for all the info on the herbs and all of the advice. I can't comment for a few hours because I'm going to not be on Reddit, but I'm going to talk to her tonight, and tomorrow or whenever everything has calmed down I will make an update. First update, next day. Firstly, for some context, we have a Planned Parenthood that specializes in abortions like 5 minutes away. I understand people thinking she didn't want to get an abortion because of protesters. I completely understand. I drive by that specific place every single day for work. I have seen no protesters. It's usually empty besides a few cars on the side of the road. But, I still understand why she wouldn't want a medical abortion from reading the comments. I asked her why, what was her goal here? She was trying really hard to avoid the conversation and left the room, but, I apologize if this makes me a jerk, but I told her if we can't have a conversation about this I have to end the relationship. She came back in and said the reason why she did this was because she never felt like her family gave her enough attention in life, and didn't feel supported by them, so she wanted to tell them she had a miscarriage so they can feel bad for her. I was confused because she could have just gotten a medical abortion and lied about it instead of just harming her body with a toxic herb. I asked her about that, and she told me she wanted to have the experience of having an actual miscarriage. I was so confused and in shock, so I didn't say much else because all of this just sounded crazy to me. She told me she didn't want me mad at her and she doesn't want to break up, and she was literally begging me to not break up with her. I asked her, is there any chance the baby wouldn't have been mine? She said no. I told her she needs to get therapy as soon as possible. I thankfully make enough to afford therapy and I told her I'll pay for her if she just please go to therapy. She agreed. I also told her she needs to go to the hospital, and I was telling her all of your comments about the septic that can happen and liver and kidney damage, and that kinda scared her into going to the hospital to get checked out. We went to the hospital last night and thankfully she is fine. Apparently she drank around 1 cup of it a day for a few days. I found out she was also taking some other things, high dose of vitamin C, turmeric, parsley. That's pretty much it for now, but I'm not too sure where to go from here. I love her and I do want to be with her, but all of this is so out of the blue. Thanks for all of the comments on the last post. If anything else happens I'll make another update. Second update, 2 days later. A lot has happened from my last post and now everything is calmer now. I'm hoping this will be my last update. Apologies since this is going to be long. In my last post I told her she needed to go to therapy as soon as possible. Told her I will pay and everything. I just hope for the love of freaking God to just for her to please go to therapy. That was the only thing I wanted. I haven't set up anything yet, because she told me she doesn't want to go to therapy now. She told me she will never do what she did again and doesn't believe she needs therapy. I was going back and forth with her on this, but she was very insistent on not wanting any therapy. I told her I can't move on in this relationship if she doesn't do therapy. She was arguing with me about it and told me if I loved her, I will stay in this relationship regardless, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. I was pretty pissed hearing that because not only did she purposely miscarry the baby we planned for, she harmed herself for no reason, in her words, to experience actual miscarriage, and I can't even trust her anymore. I was thinking about telling her parents at this point and I accidentally brought it up out of worry of her mental health and me being pissed off, and she begged me, got on the ground, begged me to not tell her parents. I took her word, because I didn't want her to lose her mind even more over this. I told her I absolutely have to leave this relationship. I told her it isn't my responsibility anymore because this has honestly been making me lose my mind too. I was holding it back, but I can't really take it anymore. Also yesterday, before this fight, she publicly stated on Facebook that she had a miscarriage and was tore up about it, accepting condolences again in the comments. I brought that up to her, and she told me the same thing in my last post. She was pretty much just wanting to feel important to friends and family. She was so nonchalant about it and honestly seemed like she thought I'd think I wouldn't care. I told her to stop posting about it and to stop telling people. Back to when we were having the fight, I told her seriously I can't be with her anymore. I will allow you to stay here or you can go back to your parents. She was laying on the ground crying at this point. I had my phone ready because my gut feeling was telling me that she might do something to herself. She would come out of the room she was packing in and come close to me and hug me out of nowhere. She said that if I'm breaking up with her she wants a last final hug. The wildest thing is she came out of the room with one of my shirts on, a shirt she was not wearing before, took it off right in front of me, and tells me here's your shirt back. I don't know what she was trying to do. She finally ended up leaving and went to her parents. Right before she left she was crying and I think it started to hit her that I was actually being serious. She was messaging me and calling me constantly, ranging from her just fixing this together, saying she wants therapy now, and her saying she will never do what she did again. I've been ignoring all of it. I realize this is not my responsibility now, and her parents can take care of it. Like what my worry has been, apparently, she did try to harm herself. Her mom messaged me about it. She said that her daughter is at the hospital and I'm assuming now on a hold because she tried to unalive herself. She is physically fine. That is the last of it, and I'm thinking this will be my last update. I am not going back to her, and I'm going to try and stop thinking about all of this. And get a good lock for my door. Thanks for all of the advice on the last post. Edit, I am telling her parents now. If anything happens I will just update it here. Edit number 2, I ended up telling her parents. I had messages relating to this between me and her, took photos of the herbs she used, told them everything. Thankfully, they didn't accuse me or do anything drastic and thanked me for telling them. They said they will tell the hospital what I told them. Not too sure what's going on at the moment or what's going to happen after since she is being held right now. I will update this if anything else happens. New final update, 1 month later. It's been over a month since this happened and things thankfully haven't been crazy. I was in shock pretty bad during this and it started to hit me so I've been seeing a therapist about it. As for my ex, her mom has been updating me on her well-being, mostly because how concerned I was for her. I was honestly thinking about blocking her entire family because I wanted to separate myself totally from all and never think about her again, but I decided to keep her mom on my phone for updates at the time. She was in a psych ward for 2 weeks. While I haven't been told a specific diagnosis, she was apparently in psychosis. Her mom has told me she is taking medication and is doing better. The messed up thing is that her mom has been recently trying to get me to get back together with her, saying her daughter will be a lot happier if I go back to her. I straight up blocked her. I do not want to experience that again even if she is getting counseling and is on medication. Hell no. I don't know why her mom is doing that. Maybe my ex is giving her a hard time over this? I don't know. Other than that it's been calm. I've came to the realization that I'm a lot happier without her in my life and I want it to stay that way. I'm going to stay single for the time being and just stick with myself. Thanks for all of the advice on my other posts.